We talked about Thornhill being an impactful rookie. There's obviously a lot of other draft picks that could be very impactful players. Who are some of the other ones that really stick out to you?
You know, to me, Colin Saunders is going to be a really big key. He's going to be part of that rotation in the defensive line front that I think Steve Spagnuolo really wants to see, an aggressive front, a big front. Colin Saunders, I think, was a steal to get him when they were able to draft him. I was surprised he fell that far, but I think he fits in really well in this scheme, and for him, these early reps are going to be very, very important. And then we've also seen Darwin Thompson out there. I don't know if you've heard, he's rocked up and has a bodybuilder-like physique.
Kind of a big deal.
But he's made some shifty plays out there that I've been pretty impressed with early, that it's been really fun to watch him kind of get out there and run around and just, you know, show us why the Chiefs drafted him.
Yeah, he's really quick. He's very agile. He's got a very good center of gravity. And I think that was some of the things that we saw with Kareem Hunt. Whenever he was first drafted, his contact balance was something that really stood out. And today, obviously, they're not hitting. They don't have the pads on. But you could just see how easily he made his cuts and how quickly he hit his gaps. And it was very cool to see, I guess you could say, because he is so athletic and he's not the biggest guy out there, but he's very agile. And I also thought Colin Saunders looked a lot faster in person than he does in his highlights.
Absolutely. To me, Darwin Thompson was one of those guys that you watch out there, and you know that not every guy on the field today was going to make the roster, but you watch Darwin Thompson, and it's immediately recognizable this guy was a draft pick.
Right.
This guy has potential, and he's going to be a really, I think, key part of this running back room. You know, obviously Damian Williams is the starter, but I think that he's a good change of pace guy and has a little bit different, can do different things to what a Damian Williams or a Carlos Hyde can do.
And we talked about Travis Kelce getting a majority of those Patrick Mahomes passes, but another rookie, McCole Hardman, he got a bunch of slants today because he is quick off of the snap, and maybe he does need to work on his deep routes a little bit more, but I mean, it's only day one, right?
Exactly. I mean, I think for him, the biggest key is going to be endurance and fitness. I talked with his parents earlier this summer, and they said that when he was calling them during rookie minicamp, they said, "How's it going, son?" He said, "Man, I'm tired. My legs, they are running me all over the place, and it's only going to ramp up from there." So at least he has something to expect and understand what's going to be happening. But I think that he took some strides today. He had a couple drops, but, you know, getting jitters out, I think he hasn't made the same mistake twice, and I think that's really encouraging.
That's massive. Well, we talked a little bit about the offense. We talked about Colin Saunders on the defensive side, but I think something that also stuck out to me today was the defensive coaching staff. Very vocal, very loud. I mean, we saw it during OTAs and minicamp, but I think this was a whole different level because they're actually getting that one-on-one time with the rookies.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the coaching staff as a whole was really vocal today. I think it was, I don't know, maybe 8:45 when I heard my first "Let's Roll" of camp, and then I knew that it was officially here. And that's, you know, the defensive staff in particular just brings this energy. And Andy Reid said yesterday that, you know, for him, he's been doing camp for a long time, been doing it for a long time here, but he had to remember, you know, hey, not everybody's been here. Steve Spagnuolo doesn't know how to get to the practice field. Brendan Daly's going to be lost if you don't tell him where to go and how to get there. But even if they are a little, you know, still feeling things out, they know what they're doing on the field. They know how to coach these guys, and they know to bring that energy, maybe something that was lacking in previous defensive coaching staffs.
Absolutely. So we talked a little bit on the defensive side about what could be different this year. Obviously, there's a lot of changes. You're going from 3-4 to 4-3. You've got new coaches all over the place. They're figuring their way out around St. Joe. But what are some of the other big differences that you see coming into a rookie camp from last year to this year?
You know, I think that this camp, to me, feels different because it is a new coaching staff, and we are paying more attention to what those guys are doing out there. You know, in the past, or at least last year, granted my first year, but you knew what to expect. You knew what a Bob Sutton defense was going to look like. You knew how Bob Sutton was going to coach. I felt like that there's just an extra attention and extra analysis to what these guys are doing because there's so many different layers, you know. Who are they talking to? Why are they talking to this guy one-on-one? How are they starting to implement some of these schemes that are going to be completely different from what it was before? So I think, to me, that's one of the biggest differences is just the amount of attention that we're paying to the defensive side of the field, which is crazy when you have the MVP on the other field.
It's true. So obviously we take a lot of notes while we're out there at practice for how many hours on end. What were some of the biggest things that stood out to you today?
Well, you know, I do. I have 2 pages of notes here. I brought them with me. I think that Herb Miller, who's an undrafted guy, defensive back, he had a pass breakup. He also had an interception. Marcus Marshall, one of the running backs, bobbled the ball, and he picked it off right away. And then Raymond Davidson also had an interception. His was off Mahomes. Excuse me, Mahomes.
I know you got choked up because this doesn't happen very often.
I know, this is a really big deal. I'm kind of emotional about it. But yeah, he picked off Mahomes, and Mahomes was really frustrated. He kind of slumped his shoulders and you could tell he was just mad. And to me, those were some of the big plays of the day. There were a couple good catches, but the defense, I think I was really impressed with.
Massive for a lot of youngsters and getting a chance to see all of that fresh blood out there. Brooke, thank you so much.